Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2 Indie Edition, where last episode, guys, we built our first ever cargo line that now delivers cargo to a city via trains. And what we did is we got set up the ability to pick up some planks of wood, deliver it over to a tools factory, and then ran a separate kind of line alongside our high-speed train line that the trains then deliver those tools all the way to Bangalore. Now, it was quite the extensive and the expansive line because of what we had to do and all the stuff we had to change and kind of get set up. But it gave us our first taste of delivering cargo to a city. Now, it is only tools and we're only delivering it to one city. But today, we're going to embark on a journey that is going to cost me an absolute fortune to deliver, wait for it, machines to the majority of all these towns around here. Now, why this is going to be absolutely huge is because, yes, we do have a tool or a machines factory just here, but I don't want to use that machines factory. I've got a better idea, an expansive idea, an absolutely wild and crazy idea. Now, this was very simple. But what I'm about to do right now is going to be very, very complex. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to get done in this episode. It should be pretty interesting. It's going to contain trains and it's going to contain ships. Oh no. Seniac, what do you have planned? Well, before I explain, guys, I just want to say right now, if you are enjoying this series, make sure you smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new around here so you're not relying on the recommended tab. You are getting notified every time a new episode comes out. Smash that subscribe button down below, guys, and leave a comment saying, Seniac, you're a damn fool. Play some more, and we'll do just that. So basically, in this area, we've got Hubli, we've got Anantapur, we've got Bellary, we've got Bangalore, we've got Mysore, and we've got then a few towns that are also not connected to the actual train network. We've also got Raichur as well, Chudapar over there. Any places up here, we got Nizamabad, we got Raj over there, we got Seoul, and any up here right now, we got it's Harsi, I pronounce it. We got Raipur over here. We got places that do require machines. Now, I do have a machines factory over here, but to produce machines, you've got to bring in timber, which is fine. We've got timber over here, but we also need to bring in steel. Now, steel is the issue. It's the big issue to why I don't want to use this, is because we have no steel plants around this part of India. I can go further north and get them, but then you're going to need a lot of iron ore and a lot of coal to bring them over to do it. And it's quite complex. It is quite congested with lines. It will just make this a little bit crazy and over-engineered, and I don't really like the idea. I don't have enough room, basically, to do this. So what I've decided is, if I now go all the way up to north and then west, never eat shredded wheat, there we go, west, we have over here near Chabadhar 3 machines factories, which I do like the look of. Now, if I could maybe build a cargo harbour over here that could pick up the machines, take them over to a harbour over here somewhere, and we almost create like a little bit of a distribution kind of area where lots of cargo can kind of come into this cargo harbour, and then we just run trains from the harbour to wherever town, city it needs to go to with whatever goods it requires. That would sound amazing, wouldn't it? Now, it wouldn't just be machines that would come in. You could bring food in, you could bring tools, bricks, machines, goods, fuel, whatever it may be. You could bring it all into a harbour around here, and then trains can just kind of take it from it, and off it goes. That would be amazing. And I think this is the perfect excuse to kind of build something like that. So I'm not sure where the harbour would go, how I'd integrate it with the current train network. We have to figure that out in just a moment. But we've also got to figure out, how do I create the machines? Well, it's going to need timber and it's going to need steel. Now, zooming out, we do have a steel plant just here. We have they're not steel plants. Steel plant. Oh, we have some steel plants down here. We have one over there. So we got a couple of variations around. We might use these because there's 3 in a row. We've got some ore down here, and we do have some coal there. We've got some coal there and some ore there. There's some ore over here. There's some coal up there. So we have an abundance of these goods around this area to kind of build it all up. So we just got to bring all that stuff down to here to produce machines. That's amazing, okay? And then timber. Now, we do technically, without looking too far, because we have to go all the way over here for it, we do technically already have timber being produced. So what if I was able to bring the timber? Oh, okay, I just thought of a good idea. Right, okay, I just thought of a good idea. Let me explain this. So basically, if I create a harbour here to pick up the machines and sail it all the way over to wherever it may be and drop it off, it makes cash. But then this ship has to go back to pick up more machines. Well, what if on the return journey, it's bringing over the timber that I've created and produced to drop off to there? That way this ship will make money both ways. Okay, that's sold it to me. It's sold. Okay, it's done. Game over. We've got it. So, where do I start with this then? Well, seeing as we've got to do ships, I think we'll start with the shipping route first, and it will allow me to integrate this network to a harbour, and we'll start by bringing the timber over to the machines place before I build the steel run. That sounds great. So I know the harbour's going to go about there. It's just figuring out where it's going to go over here. Now, it's going to be a big harbour. It's going to be very important, and it needs to have an absolutely huge train station connected to it with lots of platforms if I'm going to treat it as a distribution hub. Now, this is the big question. How do I integrate it currently in? Now, we already have what we built in last episode, this ability right now to have this separate line running alongside our high-speed train line, which is used for commute trains and is also used for cargo trains. So that sounds great already that I can implement it. Plus, I do need to bring more timber in, and we have the integration that pops out in the middle. So we already have the infrastructure around here. So what if I just like extended the line down here? Now, Mumbai's... Wow, do I turn the city of Mumbai into our big cargo destination hub? A big cargo harbour, a big cargo depot, a huge distribution centre? Now that sounds pretty cool to me. Now, we do have a little bit of space here. There is a cliff edge, but that is a slight ramp. It means nothing because we can kind of tunnel it anyway. I think Mumbai might be the chosen one. I think it might be. Now, we obviously are also going to be running a train line going down this side. So, however I build it here has to incorporate a harbour, a passenger line, and the cargo line on top of it. It's going to be so complex, isn't it? It's going to be so complex. So I might need to claim a lot of land here just to kind of build the infrastructure required. Now, like I said, it's going to be very, very difficult and very, very challenging. And this might not happen in one episode. It might take 3 or 4 episodes to complete this big project. But I've got the money in the bank to spend right now. We might as well do it. So guys, sit back, relax, grab your snacks right now. I'm just going to take a delicious sip of my beautiful cup of tea. Hold on. So good. I'm fueled up. I'm ready to do this. So, we're going to have to break it down in stages then. So first things first then, we'll reclaim some land to build a harbour and a train station that will integrate passenger lines running through this side of India and also cargo trains having the ability to come in and out. And what I think I might do is have them come out, bend around, and then go up to connect to this line, and then we connect to the greater network. And that's literally all I've got to do there. Sounds easier said than done, obviously. Now, if I get the flattened tool out here, and we are going to have to reclaim a nice chunk of Mumbai right now, but it's a land reclamation project. This is what they do in real life when it comes to building big infrastructure projects like this. So, you know, it's just what I've got to do. It's just what I've got to do, okay? Mumbai's going to have a huge growth spurt from this, by the way. So just smoothing all this out anyway, make it as friendly as I can. And I think what I'm going to do is, I would normally start with the harbour, but I think I'm going to start with the train line. Yeah. Let's start with a train line for this. So trains, buildings, and we'll treat it as a middle route. And what I'll also do is I'll start with the passenger. No, do I start with the passenger? No, let's start with the cargo. I know it sounds wild, but we're going to start with the cargo. We make a really, really long platform. Actually, do you know what I can do? I can utilize one of these roads as being the main drag of road that I get to work with. How much do I want to kill off of Mumbai? It's going to be a difficult one. I mean, I can build and start here. There will be a lot of destruction from Mumbai, but they will ultimately understand why. Actually, I don't know if I like the idea. If I built on a diagonal here. Now, the reason I'm building on a diagonal is because eventually I'm going to want my pedestrian lines to bend round. So you might be thinking that is looking really weird right now, but the very last line is going to be the passenger line, which will run along the coast and off it goes. Or at least I think it's going to anyway. This is going to be crazy. Right. Let's just kind of build... Oh, the elevated stuff has kind of come into play right now, which is interesting, but we're still a long way off from being able to unlock it. Now, we can go for the high-speed tracks, which we're in that era right now where we are ready to kind of start upgrading. Platforms, again, cargo, tracks. We're going to set up multiple cargo sections because of how busy this area is going to be. So just keep pushing it and see how far I can actually take it. Tracks. Now, I don't know what the actual limit is of how far I can build. Because there is, as you can see there is a limit to how far you can actually take a train station. You know what I mean? So now I know that you can also build on this side as well. So it could be a case of Actually, that's a good point. How much further can I build here? We can keep going. So I could technically have more buildings and more lines if I push this further back. So this is, I've been playing this game for years right now, and even now I'm still learning. So I'm going to go here, is where I'll go. So let me now reconfigure this one. This is the one, boys. This is the thing that changes everything. Right, platforms, cargo, tracks, platforms, cargo, tracks. Okay, that's as far as we can go. Also, I've got the wrong type of tracks there now, haven't I? There we go, bam. And then let me just quickly see how far I can take it. Just to allow me to understand what room and space I have available. So, platforms, cargo-wise, I need 2 there, 2 there, 2 there, but then it leaves me with, you could argue, an awkwardness. But then I do get a lot of cargo then, don't I? Do I just save this area then for the passenger side of Mumbai? I mean, that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cargo runs. That's a lot, isn't it? That is a lot. So I think we'll just kind of keep it to that. So I've got obviously the main building, which might be an issue for us in terms of the main building now, because you would also... No, I can actually get the thing connected to it, so we're okay. Right, I think we're okay regardless. Let's just get all this cargo stuff in. Mumbai is about to become a huge cargo hub. I'm actually terrified for it. How big it's going to now be built up and how industrialized this area is going to be. And how much chaos we're going to have to create in terms of a big train junction leading out. That scares me as well. So you might think, Seniac, you are over-engineering, you're destroying Mumbai. But trust me, Mumbai might become the biggest city because of all of this. Oh dear God. What have you done, Seniac? This is a mega project right now. So this here is just literally the cargo platforms. And I've made them super big and long because I do fully expect there to be a lot of cargo being stacked on here with the amount of ships that could potentially run in. So I'm really over-engineering it. Really over-engineering it right now. I don't even have the demand, but at least we can build from this, and that's the exciting part. Okay, that's just them. The one side of it, okay? Now, we're going to have to run platforms, passenger-wise, down here. And then this is where we build the passenger side of it. So, we're going to treat this then as a normal train station. And can I get that last platform in? Yes. Where we have the bypassing tracks and the lines for them to stop at the platforms. So in this is a mega station. It really is. Right, I'm fully well aware of the tracks that I am building. And I'm fully aware that at some point in the near future, which is not that far off, we're going to have to upgrade a lot of these train tracks to having the standard tracks of the Kentry and stuff like that, and maybe high speed and all that kind of jazz. I'm fully aware of all this, okay? I'm not that foolish. But that is a big platform. Now, the only train line that is going to continue from this is going to be on this side, and on this side, it's going to be just here. So if I just move this forward... So on this side of the train station, the train tracks are only going to continue from the passenger side there. Now, you could argue, well, Seniac, right? You're going to need trains running down here for cargo-related stuff. And then the other argument you could then potentially make is, well, on the last little section here, what I could do, if I configure it one more time, is also have then cargo platforms. So implemented you there and there. And then tracks. And that will allow trains to run on the passenger line, commuter line, with cargo as well. It kind of does solve that in many ways. Now I'm going to delete all of that. Just for a moment. This will also be deleted as it continues, but I'm not stressing about that. We'll sort all that out and delete it as time goes on. We just need to make this building as connected as we can to the area. Now, I can't get an end building there because it needs to put a thing on the whole front. Let's see what we can potentially do. It's a shame I can't get that big building just here. I probably could if I kind of adjusted the road. But surely we've got to be able to get a building in here, right? I mean, you could do something as foolish as... Oh, no, I can't even add anything else onto it. Right, let me delete the road. Hold on, wait for autosave. Delete this road. Right, and then what we'll do is we'll go back to configuring it. We'll get a big building. And I'll put that... I'll put it just here. And then road-wise, I could kind of come out slightly to connect that bend in. It's not perfect, okay? It's not perfect. If anything, it looks terrible. But it's just what I'm doing right now to try and get maximum connectivity. To the area. Now, you could throw down some cargo buildings as well, if they were allowed you to put them in. But I don't think you're going to win too much. There we go. Can you get these smaller ones in? Just kind of build up a really, really big and long building. I know it looks a little bit funky. But you can see the radius that it does collect to us. But we'll have other kind of forms of public transport to lead them all in. Now, I know that's way over the top and crazy, but that's how we can potentially work it. This passenger line is just going to continue going upwards right now, so that won't integrate anywhere else. I've just now got to sort out these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines, how they're going to merge into one line and then lead upwards and outwards, and where they're going to be connecting. So they'll bend around and go up, but they've got to connect to this line. So we're going to either have this line turn off there, come down, and then bend in. Right, that's going to be another challenge all on its own as well. Plus, I then have to kind of integrate the drop. Oh my goodness me, Seniac. When you thought it was a good idea, it may be a foolish idea. So I'm just going to run the train line here for just a second. On the off chance that this random bit of placement I've just done is enough. So it's about to start bending from here. So how does that look for me? Now that's not too shabby. Alright, bring that round as well. So providing this actually goes to plan, we should be okay. Now, if I can get that to link up to there, I don't know how I'm going to do this. It's going to be wild, right? But that now has the connection to the commuter line, which has access to a bunch of towns and cities. And that's all I need it to do. That's literally all I need it to do. As long as we got the signals in place and the signals do their job, which I'll have to redo these ones around, there's going to be no traffic jams, or train jams, I should say. Now, the question is, I can bring this down, round, and then connect in, but we're going to have to make one of these be the main connection. Now, I could treat it as the first one, and as it bends round, these all then fall into it, which is probably the better idea. But look at the elevation change. I've got to go from there down to there. Now, I could pick up this like that and then just see what it wants to do naturally. It would be nice to be able to see it all happen. And do you know what? Having the bridge might not be such a bad idea, but that's if I went for a straight up, here you go, here's the connection kind of style. Or, right, or I could bring this slightly out. Okay. And then run. Oh, wow. Okay, that is definitely a dramatic drop, isn't it? Whatever you're going to do, it's quite difficult. So if I place that to about here and then raised it as much as I could. Are we going for the bridge? I do like the idea of the bridge, don't get me wrong. I can do an iron bridge. But I don't know how it's going to hinder. Now that's straight. I don't know how it's going to hinder all these connections leading round. Let's just find out for a quick second. So bringing you up and over, connecting you up. It's trying to get all these other bits and bobs now connected. So I think what we have to initially do is, if I was to create, say for example, you like this, and allow this to bend in before the bridge. So the idea would be here is that we are either only creating one bridge or we're going to be creating multiple bridges. I don't know what the best way to go about doing this would be. Now I could maybe go ahead and create a secondary double bridge. Which makes that even wider, which I don't mind because visually it looks pretty interesting. But then I don't want to do multiple because I've got to then merge so many train tracks in. But what I could do with this is treat this as going to there. And then have this be the bend in for here. So this train track obviously comes out. But then that bends into there. And then bringing this one somewhat out as well. And then allowing this to bend there. How far back do I do the bend though? So if I kind of went to there. So that allows me to link up the 4 into 2 as it then all goes across the bridge. And then as it gets to here, we'll then have to combine the 2 into 1. Now on all this, we will need Chrissy Crossies, which is the reason why I've brought it out so far. So let me just implement my crissy-crossies real quick. Oh, don't play these games right now. Right, what's your issue right now? Come on, boy. Tell me what's your issue. Right, what is your issue right now that I can't do the most basic and simple crisscross here? Oh, there we go. Well, I do apologize. Oh, okay. Is this going to happen on every single one? No. Apparently not. Or apparently so. No. Okay, that's weird how that's kind of happening now, isn't it? Right, this last one is not going to do it. What are you doing to me right now, game? What are you doing to me right now? Right, crissy crosses and all the stops right there. Long enough platforms to kind of connect in. Big bridge leading over, which I really do love. I really do love it. And then we have to integrate this in. Now, first things first then. It's how we are going to achieve this first up straight connection into there. Now that does work. So that's not an issue. And I could do it in the tunnel, couldn't I? Is what I could do. Now, would it be better to maybe run the middle line into it and then to bring all these in? No, it wouldn't work like that because of the way that it all is going to be all connected. Well, is it better for the outer line or the inner line? Now, we'll just do this line. So, run that. Hold on. Run that all to there. Bring you to a parallel existence. Merge it in the tunnel so you don't see it. And then we're all good. So any cargo now being dropped off in Mumbai's harbour can now be trained out. So let's just quickly sort out the signals for this. So get rid of that signal because there is a crisscross there, and let's get rid of these two signals because we'll then have to then redo them. So you would go there, and you would go here. And then the train leaving there, the station is the signal, if that makes sense. The station is the signal. Now, I'm gonna utilize the crissy-crossy of the roads here for the next double signal. Just wait for this autosave to finish. All right, come on, autosave. Hurry up, you fool. Hurry up. Bam, bam. Just utilizing the road as it. And I'm going to utilize this. Oh, actually, hold on. Because we then also have to do signal, signal, signal there. So that will be the next set of signals. And then I reckon we do a set of signals leading in here. So signal, signal as a train's coming in. And that'll be, oh yeah, signal, signal, signal. Oh, that one's on the wrong way, isn't it? There we go. Signal, 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 signal. Leading down, and then the trains coming out haven't got to wait. They can just freely escape the platforms. At least that is what I think it's going to do and how it's going to work. That's the radius the train station's got from Mumbai, but when we get the streetcars and stuff in, or buses, whatever we may do, we'll have a better radius. So that's now all implemented. All I've got to do now then is build this huge, massive harbour as a connection. Now, do I need to do a road connection for the harbour? I'm not too sure if I'm going to have to, because to be honest with you, the passengers need a way to kind of transfer over, won't they? So I'm going to say yes. We're going to have to. So if I just kind of bring this out a bit more. With the reclamation, the land reclamation, boys. If I just then configure this and add the buildings in. So we don't want absolutely massive buildings. It doesn't need to be like that. But if I do either end, and then we're going to have to reclaim... You know what? I have to reclaim quite a bit more. Because of the road we've got to get in. So let me just go to here. Road-wise, all I want to do is connect to all 3 of them buildings. Which also does give us more traffic connections availability for Mumbai. It's just they're going to have to deal with a little bit of excitement going on. And for now, it would connect to there. But I can see that road there being oofed straight away. Right, I don't think the land here is sticking out far enough now to implement a harbour on. We'll have to do some smoothing. Let me just smoothen this little section. Alright, there we go. Other than that, we're okay, right? Smoothie there, smoothie there. Right, I do get carried away with the terraining. But we've heavily invested in land reclamation in Mumbai to implement this huge mega project. Now, we'll start as a cargo harbour, but I will add passenger stuff to it. Now, that interacts with the train station, so that gives us the connection that is available. Let me now configure this. So, get rid of you. And let's just start with these beautiful little harbours right now. So how far do I go? I'm going to build like this because I can then reclaim going back. And we might have multiple ships arriving in here. So if I do, we're going to treat you there. This is cargo and the passenger one. We'll put the passenger down here. They're the end pieces. So we've got... How big do I go with this? I'm trying to figure this out. So the end would be there, right? If I did that and then 2 landings. Okay, sweet. So cargo. Bam. Bam. Is that equal spacing? I feel like it's not. Unless I do it like that. Let me redo this one. Because then that would go there. So that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cargo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 passenger. We're not going to need that many passengers, so we'll do more cargo. Is what we'll do. Yeah. Definitely more cargo. So I'll only put the landings on the inside to begin with. Right, there we go. So only do it there to begin with. That is a huge harbour right now. So now I can reclaim the land up to the harbour. And that'll give Mumbai a little bit more breathing space to build on. So they can have buildings now going all the way on this edge of the road moving forward. So yeah, Mumbai is going to have a big growth spurt. But it's a big city in real life though, isn't it, guys? It is a big city in real life, so, you know, it's not like it's unordinary. But there we go. This is going to be huge. Now, last thing I'm going to do, I want to see if I can get a few cargo buildings, maybe... Cargo, is that the main building? Oh no, sorry, the main buildings connect into it, don't they? We can do pedestrian access, but that's a different story. Passenger. Yeah, you can't make them dig into it, so to speak. But that's fine. I ain't got to do anything crazy. That's fine. So that's everything that's needed there for the infrastructure to this part of Mumbai. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all over here right now and build another harbour which connects to these 3 buildings. And if we can kind of get the ability for them to deliver the wood over there first, that's just phase 1 complete. As crazy as it seems, that will be phase 1 complete. Now, this might be a little bit tricky because it's a little bit set back and it also is a little bit high up in the air. So this is going to be interesting to see how we're going to implement this. Now, we have to reclaim a lot of land around here. So if I kind of go in with enough space here to work it, so just because you need it to be a deep enough water that ships can also come in and out. So if I just kind of eat that into it a little bit. Now, I'm just going to place down a rough harbour. Wow, that is so low. Right, I can place it just there. Okay, and I've got to delete this road. Because I'm going to need a road that's going to run up to connect to here. Which I can do that. Now, I just want to find out. It only connects to 2. Right, this is the bit I'm fearing slightly now. Is I've done all that and I haven't really checked to see if I can actually build a harbour that will connect to all 3 buildings. Maybe I should have checked this before, you know, doing anything else. Sonic, you're a fool. You're an absolute fool. Right, back to the harbour again. Right, pull it about there. Another road. So that's a straight up road leading to there. Right, now that connects to them too and not... Wait, is that even connected to the road? It should be, but why is it not? Right, let me delete this. And then... put you there. See, that now connects to all 3. But that's having to use a double road system. I could put a road directly in the middle. But that will do just fine. But look at the land around it, though. So we have to make this go all the way down. I don't mind that. It's just where the main building has to be connected. Now, let me just smoothen this terrain slightly. There's a lot going on here now that we need to slightly sort out. There is a lot going on. We also want to integrate the city as part of it as well. So we're going to delete all of this and see if we can kind of integrate these streets as a part of it. So that looks like it's fine. No issues there. And obviously this will kind of come up and bend through as well. I don't mind these type of connections. It's up and over. It's doing all of this. Because eventually the town will grow through all of it. Now, one other thing I've got to kind of do is also figure out, we're going to have to bring trains down here as well, right? So if we're bringing trains down here, where are the trains going to connect? Also, we also need to make sure that the trains themselves can also connect to the harbour. Oh, wait, hold on. This now all of a sudden is now disconnected to one of these. Was it because of this connection? Right, let me delete you. What is going on here, guys? What is ultimately going on here? Right. Why will it not rotate? Is it the land? All right, let's bring that out a bit there. Right, there, apparently it does now connect. Okay, we're all good. So, we need the trains coming in, and we also need the trains connecting to the harbour, which is really important because there's going to be goods that I need to transfer over on ships that are not related to this, whether it does be goods or oil or fuel or whatever it may be. So we also need to integrate that as well. Now, with the way that this is currently set up, I'm not sure how it's going to play out. Now, let me kind of extend the cargo harbour here. So if I was to say, I'm going to come off this part of the building. Now, the reason I'm coming off of this part of the building here is so it gives me a little bit of leeway, a little bit of space to ultimately kind of create the transition of the land going up. It could be a great thing, or it could be a not so great thing. I don't ultimately know. Delete this land in here. We don't no longer need that. Bring you down. And we've got to do some more training as well. This is going to be quite the big harbour, boys. Quite the big harbour. Alright. Drag you out. Going down. Leading out. All good. Back to configuring. So cargo-wise, can we not get the end piece, or is that as far as we're able to build with it? It might be as far as we're able to build with it. Alright, one there. How's this going to look and work? Alright, that all looks nicely spaced, apart from this rogue one here. And I wonder why I can't go any further. Well, that's now allowed me to do it, which is all good. We'd have that rogue little bit sticking out, but it doesn't mind me. It doesn't bother me too much. We just might need to cut this slightly back a bit here. To be honest with you, we might need to actually get rid of it. I don't like the idea of getting rid of it though, because I like it being part of the terrain. I might just raise the land slightly, because it comes like a little bit of a sea barrier. A little bit of a sea wall leading in. That should be fine. And then let me flatten leading up to this. And then coming out. And then what we can do, to be honest with you, I could come into about there as well to kind of bulk it all up. And then just smoothing it all off. For the transition. Now, the main building's there, which does affect this in terms of if I wanted a connection. So I could push back, or you could actually just do miscellaneous landings like this. Because ultimately all you need is the road connection connecting. Now, if I can build it... Oh. So if I drag this road to here, for example. Now, all I've got to do is build a train station. Which is easier said than done. Between these two and the connection there. Then ultimately we're all good. But like I said, easier said than done. Now, I could try this by building either the passenger building like that, but it doesn't obviously connect to the road. Now, I could make it connect to the road. If I put a building here, right, get out of here real quick. Delete you and you and you. And you. And then we get a road to... well, we need to make it sync, don't we? We need to make it sync, so if I drop first this down a bit, and then... Still nothing? Oh, wait, hold on. Do I need to actually build... Yes. The actual connection for it? That's why I'm struggling to do it. So if we build that there, and then with the wiggly swiggly, you to there, and then down to there. So all I gotta do is make the train station connect to that. Now, it's very difficult to do when you're now on a slope. It does become very, very difficult to do. But not impossible is the main part of this. It's not impossible. So building-wise, we're going to build an end route. We'll do super wide, super big. Actually, maybe not that long. We'll go to about there, which connects to all three. Hold on, I'm missing landings. I've just realised. Let me just quickly get the landings in. Now, there's no passenger on this, which I will maybe adjust it in the future. Well, that's outside navigable waters. I'm not going to worry about that too much just yet. I think it's because it can't get the bend out. Right, trains. So you can see here, placing that there is actually fine. It connects to all three of the machine buildings and the harbour anyway. So I can literally just leave that as it is. And then we're all good. It's just the downside is, it's the sheer cliff edge that we're working with. But we're fine. We're fine, guys. We're absolutely fine, right? We should be fine. So, let me just see if I can get these navigable waters up and running. So, that's how we're going to come out here, and then we want it to bend like that. So, smoothing you. I'm hoping that's now enough for the navigable waters. It's still a big no-no. Which I understand. I get it. I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? I understand it. That's still not enough for it. But I don't want to destroy it too much. I'll come back to it in the future. I don't, because, you know, I've got other stuff I need to kind of focus on. So, that's, in a way, pretty much set up. Okay? We have the two connections, and that's all I need to do. It is quite some distance, so you should make quite a bit of cash money by doing that. Now, if I set up a new line and go from here to zoom into the cargo bit. All right, wait for it to update. The game's got to think right now because of the distance it has to travel. Oh, it goes around these little islands there. That's kind of cool, isn't it? We'll make it bright red so we can see it. And what we're going to do is make it so it's able to stop at every kind of dock on the harbour. This will mean no matter how many ships are there, whatever dock is free, the boat is able to unload and load, okay? This makes life so much easier for us. So we're going to call this Chad. Is it Chad or Chab? Chab, sorry. Chab to Mumbai. I can't even spell shipping. What's going on? What's going on with me right now? Chad to Mumbai shipping. Very nice. Very nice. That is absolutely glorious. So I could run boats now. I could actually run a boat, which what I'll do is I'll run the boat from over here. We'll build the we'll build it just there on that little bit of an island. There we go. Smoothie, 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 smoothie. And we'll buy a ship for it. So cargo. Oh, we got some big boys now. Now, ideally, you would, at this moment in time, you would want a ship that can carry all types of cargo because we're going to have all types of cargo going backwards and forwards. Now, if I base it off capacity, the biggest capacity of all cargo is the Schaffhausen, if that's how you pronounce it. It is not very fast. Actually, it could be the fastest ship I've... Yeah, actually, it's the fastest one out of all of them. $250,000 a year to run. Capacity 130, which is within the ballpark. Actually, I don't think that's too bad. Now, what I'll do is I'll buy 2 of them. Okay, we'll start with 2, and we'll place them on that line. Okay? Let them do what they've got to do. Now, as of right now, they can't pick up any cargo. Okay? Because there's nothing being delivered to the harbours as we speak. Now, are we okay over here? I think we're all okay over here, aren't we? Yeah. Mumbai will eventually bounce back. Is that water? We've got a little bit of a swamp down here, haven't we, boys? So, as of right now, we've got no cargo but going back and forth. But what I can do is get some planks of wood delivered to Mumbai's harbour to be transported over up to Chabahar. To be delivered at the machines' factories. Now, there's 3 of them, which is wild. So, let's see. So, we actually do have right now this sawmill, delivering planks to that tools factory, and we'll keep it like that. But I do have a secondary sawmill up here. Now, this secondary sawmill is what we're going to use to deliver over there, just so we can kind of keep that one free. So that will be kind of handy. Now, to do that, it's just as simple as just throwing on another line. So, new line. And we select here. And we go to there. Okay. I'll make it, let's see, like a bluish color so it stands out. And this will be our rye. Do I call it rye or should I just call it the Mumbai wood? Mumbai wood was literally what I'm going to call it. Okay, just we understand what that means. Now in rye here we get to utilize both platforms. In Mumbai, again, we're going to get it to utilize all the platforms, obviously except the ones that it can't get to. So 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6 apparently. 7 and 8. It could not connect to them. Now why is that? I bet you I've got one of the signals the wrong way around. Do you reckon that's what it is? Or do you reckon there's a breakage in the train links that are affecting me doing anything? Right, I feel like I know what the issue is now. So what it is they won't know what's free until they get there. So I think the fact that we've split the 4 lines into 2 then into 1 is what's slightly throwing them off. Because when I go to check it right now, I'm able to kind of go in and out of number 8 there if I set it to number 8. But if I set it to anything other than that, you're okay as long as it's 1 to 4, if that makes sense. Then at 5, it can't do it because you're so far past the crisscross point. That's what happens. So I think it's the way that I set it up, I can only do 1 to 4. You know what I mean? Because by the time they come into the signal, they can't go to 5, 6, 7, 8 because that connection's all the way back over there. They've got to make their decision over here, which they can't do if they've already come down this line. I get it now, kind of a little bit. It's annoying, but yeah, I get it. That's fine. At least we can kind of separate the stuff. Now, that line's in, but the issues it causes is there's no bypass line for that train to run down, so it will have to wait. So what we're going to have to do is change this station. And to be honest with you, even this station could benefit from it, maybe. I don't know. But more importantly, this station here needs a bypassing route, which, again, I won't sort out just yet. But what I will do is we'll get an additional train. So this line here, I don't know what train to go with. The one that does... Or the one we have set up over here for this line. What's that train like? The Pune planks. If I was to manage the vehicle and then duplicate it, but then get this train to go on our Mumbai wood line. So it's the same train. Theoretically, it's the same train. Now, all of a sudden, we should now be able to produce planks here. I'm not sure how long it's going to take for it to... There we go. We're now producing planks, which is great. So I've still got a lot of configuring yet to get done. Okay. But as of right now, we're delivering planks to Mumbai. And the ships can then ship them over to here to be placed there. We're going to have to also get these ships as well spaced out where they're at both harbours at one time, if that makes sense. Boys, it's such a headache. I told you this is a big infrastructure project right now. I told you it's going to be huge. But we still got so much more we've got to get done. Alright, there's the train there, the Mumbai wood. Hasn't picked anything up. By the time it does come back, though, there should be some goods. Now, it should mean that this sawmill does then start requesting more wood. I'm not sure once delivered if it will then upgrade to its max level. I don't know. But the wood route delivering the timber to the sawmill should hopefully then start to increase. Fingers crust. So it's all there. It's all pretty much set up. The train's running down anyway. That we'll be able to connect in and go down. Everything's all in place. It's just we still need to do a lot more to get it all connected. Now, next episode, we should then physically see for the first time wood being delivered to the machine's factories. We've then got to get set up the ore run to produce steel. And then once it produces steel, we deliver the steel down to the machine's factories. That will then have both goods. And because this is connected up to the harbour, as you can see, right, it will then place the machines on here. Those ships going back to collect wood will be bring the machines over, which I can then create trains that deliver the machines to all the towns. It's so complicated and complex, but all this is not just for machines. It's also for other types of goods that will come into here, and we use all these platforms to deliver them. It's so stressful, so complex, but boy oh boy are we going to be able to ship so many goods and make so much cash. There's 125 already there right now. 125 already there. This has got so much wood stored right now. Once those numbers increase, it should then be able to upgrade. Now, apparently this shipment number is already up to 200. Whereas this one's not. Now, that's got a consumer there. Oh, I forgot. Hold on, did I forget? What have I forgotten? Oh, no, it's all instantly done it because it's already got the transport, even though the shipment hasn't taken place. That's kind of confusing, isn't it? It is kind of confusing, but it does have 3 consumers, so we are now all connected. Right, I'm going to turn one of these ships back. I should have done it a little bit sooner, so at least they'll hopefully be a little bit more spaced out, if that's the best way to put it. If that is the best way to put it. Right, where's that wood train anyway? Is it gone on the way back right now? Is this it? The Mumbai one? Right, that can hold 120 wood. You know what I mean? There is 199 on the platform already, so we should be able to make some serious cash with that. It will not be back in time for that ship. There is no way in this world that it will be back in time. It's only just there. You know what I mean? It's only just up there. So it'll be the next ship that kind of comes in to kind of do it. Mumbai's taken a bit of a hit, but it will eventually grow back rapidly once I start getting stuff delivered to it. We can get bricks and food delivered to it as well. But I'm not too bothered about that just yet. So yeah, this now gears us all up for next episode. For those who like the natural scenery, I'm so sorry. You've probably cringed this entire episode. But I've had to destroy it. I really have. I really have. So these machines, boys, they will be delivering so many goods over. I'm actually really, really excited. That ship's now on the way back. I feel like we should get them spaced out a little bit more. Maybe after so far, I can make this turn around and pick back up again. Who knows? Who knows? Right, the train's picked up a big chunk. Is that the train there? For the Mumbai wood. And that's now on the way. But yeah, having a bypassing route would be great, because now the train has to slow down and allow whatever train is on the way to pass through. So if you had a bypassing route, this wouldn't have to happen. You know what I mean? And that's what we'll get set up next episode. Right, lots of work to get done, boys. I hope you did enjoy this. It's been a very, very expensive one. We've spent, wow, look at the 2 bars there for the 2 years that we've just gone through building all this stuff. That's wild. That's crazy. But just think of the money we're going to make in the long run. Right, we're going to turn this ship around. And by that logic, they're now equally spaced between the 2 harbours. So it doesn't increase the rate of deliveries, but it makes them a little bit more evenly spaced out and evenly frequent is the best way to put it. Right, that Mumbai wood train is making its way through. It's all now kicking off, boys, and we'll see what happens in the next episode. Until next time, I will see you all soon. So goodbye.